Caolan Smyth, a resident of Donor County, Meath, was accused of trying to kill James Gately in a brazen attack. This wasn't the first time someone tried to kill James Gately. Just a month before this shooting, another man named Imre Arakas planned to kill him. Arakas is from Estonia and used to be part of a separatist group there. The police stopped Arakas before he could kill Gately. Later, Arakas admitted to planning the murder and was sent to prison for 6 years. The Special Criminal Court found Caolan Smyth guilty of attempted murder for his role in the shooting of James Mago Gately. Smyth, who was both the driver and gunman, shot Gately 5 times, but the victim survived the attack. Smyth denied being the shooter and claimed he wasn't involved in the crime at all. However, the prosecution presented strong evidence suggesting otherwise. They argued that Smyth carefully planned the attack, surveilling Gately in the days leading up to the shooting. The attack took place at the Topaz gas station on Clonshaw Road in North Dublin at lunchtime on May 10, 2017. Gately, who had been warned by the police of a threat to his life, was wearing a bulletproof vest at the time. Despite being shot multiple times in the chest and neck, Gately managed to survive the assault. To cover up the crime, another man named Gary McAreevy helped Smyth by disposing of the getaway car. McAreevy bought gasoline and burned the car to destroy evidence. The court found both Smyth and McAreevy guilty of their respective roles in the attempted murder. Smyth was convicted of being both the shooter and the driver of the getaway car, while McAreevy was found guilty of helping to hide the crime. The court found it beyond reasonable doubt that Smyth, 28 years old, was the one who pulled up beside Gately's Ford Mondeo and fired the shots. The verdict highlights the brutal nature of gangland violence and the lengths to which criminal organizations will go. The case relied heavily on phone records and security camera footage, which placed both men at the crime scene and helped piece together the events of the day. The attack was described by the judge as an organized murder attempt. After the shooting, the 2 men involved in the crime worked quickly to destroy the evidence. Gary McAreevy, who had helped plan the attack, was seen on CCTV buying gasoline. This gasoline was later used to burn the getaway car, a black Lexus, in an attempt to eliminate any forensic evidence linking them to the crime. The car, which had previously been used by the Pakistani embassy and had diplomatic license plates, was carefully chosen for its low profile. It was captured on CCTV idling at the petrol station before speeding away from the scene of the crime. Despite the efforts to destroy the car, investigators were able to recover 2 cartridges from the wreckage. While they never found the actual gun used in the shooting, the cartridges provided crucial evidence linking Caolan Smyth to the crime. The prosecution argued that the entire incident was meticulously planned, with Smyth conducting surveillance on James Gately's home in the days leading up to the attack. The car's movements, tracked through Smyth's mobile phone records, and CCTV footage from the petrol station and the crime scene provided overwhelming evidence of his involvement. The prosecution was confident that the evidence presented a clear picture of Smyth as the gunman and driver, leaving no room for doubt about his guilt. After the shooting, people saw a lot of smoke coming from the place where the car was burned. This happened not long after the attack. The judge said there was no doubt that Smyth was the driver of the car used in the murder attempt. He recognized Smyth from security camera pictures because of his clothes and a special tattoo on his arm. Several police officers also said they could identify Smyth from the pictures. After the shooting, Smyth and his accomplice McAreevy met up. They were seen together on security cameras. McAreevy drove Smyth to the place where they burned the car. The judge said that Smyth was definitely guilty of trying to kill Gately and having a gun. He also said that Gately only survived because the police had warned him about the danger, and he was wearing a bulletproof vest. The defense for Gary McAreevy argued that there was no proof he knew about the crime. They said the prosecution didn't show that McAreevy knew Smyth was involved in a crime. However, the judge disagreed. He said there was clear evidence that McAreevy's phone had several numbers for Smyth saved in it. The judge believed that the calls between the 2 men after the shooting and their meeting before burning the car were not a coincidence. The judge said that McAreevy knew about the crime before he helped burn the car. He also said that McAreevy lied to the police when he said he didn't know Smyth. Because of this, the judge found McAreavy guilty of helping to hide the crime by burning the car. Judge Tony Hunt sentenced Smyth to 32 years in prison for his involvement in an organized attempt to murder James Gately. The judge concluded that Smyth was a key participant in a carefully planned attack, evidenced by the subsequent destruction of the getaway vehicle. While Mr. Gately miraculously survived, the court determined that Smyth's intent to kill was undeniable. Given the severity of the crime, the absence of remorse, and a lack of mitigating circumstances, Judge Hunt imposed a 20-year sentence for attempted murder and an additional 12 years for weapons possession to be served concurrently. Judge Hunt emphasized that Smyth was not the sole perpetrator in this organized crime, suggesting the involvement of others who may bear equal or greater responsibility. The judge credited the timely actions of witnesses and emergency responders for preventing fatal injuries. Smyth's extensive criminal history, including a previous circuit court conviction, further underscored his character as a dangerous individual. The judge described the weapon used as exceptionally lethal and attributed Mr. Gately's survival to luck rather than a lack of skill on Smyth's part. The brazenness of the attack in a public location demonstrated a complete disregard for public safety. With no mitigating factors presented, Smyth received a 32-year sentence, backdated to his initial custody. After his sentence was passed, Smyth defiantly declared to his family that he would be released within 5 World Cup cycles. Turning to McAreavy's involvement, Judge Hunt determined his role was confined to post-crime actions, including fueling and destroying the getaway vehicle. The judge concluded that McAreavy was aware of aiding Smyth in evading arrest for a serious crime. Despite this, McAreavy's involvement was deemed less extensive compared to Smyth's, resulting in a 7-year sentence. The judge emphasized McAreavy's limited criminal history and lack of affiliation with a larger criminal organization as mitigating factors. The attempted murder of James Mago Gately by Caolan Smyth serves as a stark reminder of the ruthless violence endemic to organized crime. Smyth's conviction and subsequent lengthy prison sentence send a strong message that such acts will not be tolerated. While Gately miraculously survived, the incident underscores the grave risks faced by those caught in the crossfire of gang warfare. The meticulous planning and execution of the attack, coupled with the desperate attempts to cover up the crime, highlight the chilling efficiency of these criminal organizations. It is essential to recognize the courage of law enforcement in bringing these individuals to justice and protecting the public from further harm. This case serves as a chilling testament to the dangers posed by organized crime. The attempted murder of James Gately was a brazen act of violence that could have had far more tragic consequences. The convictions of Caolan Smyth and Gary McAreavy offer a sense of justice, but they also underscore the ongoing battle against these criminal networks.